Here are the answers to these three revision questions. Question 11, we have evaluate 14.2 plus 8.3 times 40. So we need to think of BODMAS here. What would be the first step to do? And that would actually be the multiply. So we always do the multiply before we do the add. So 8.3 times 40. So this would be a non-calculator question as well. So what we would do first is we would do 8.3 times 4. So 4 times 3, that's 12. Carry your 1. 4 times 8, 32. Carry your 1, 33. And then we would do 33.2 times 10 because it wasn't times 4, it was times 40. So that's going to give us 332. We would then go back and do 14.2 plus the 332. And it's important to make sure that these are lined up correctly. So you could add a 0.0 just to line that up with the 0.2 above it. So 2 and 0, well that's 2, 4 and 2, 6, 1 and 3, 4, and then your 3. So 346.2. Question 12, we have find the equation of the straight line passing through the points 2, minus 3 and 2, 9. So we have equation of a straight line. So the first thing we would do for these types of questions is the gradient. So if we do our gradient formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, what we would get here is 9 minus 3 over 2 minus 2. So we're actually going to get, in this case, 12 over 0. Now, you can't do dividing by 0 in maths. It is physically impossible. So that doesn't have a gradient. And if a line doesn't have a gradient, if it's undefined for a gradient, it is a vertical line. So if we were to think about what these points would look like on a grid, say, 2 minus 3 would be perhaps somewhere here. 2, 9 would be perhaps somewhere up here. So that would in fact be a perfect straight line that goes right down through the point 2. Every x coordinate is 2. So as an equation, that line would actually just be x equals 2. Okay, number 13, we have simplifying surds. So root 12, we would split that up into root 4 times root 3. We want two numbers that multiply to 12 and one has to be a square number. The same thing for 60, and 60 would actually split into root 4 times root 15. So these two root 4s would actually cancel down. So you could simplify that to 2 root 3 over 2 root 15 and then cancel it down, or you could just cancel down the 2 root 4s. It wouldn't matter where you did it. So we are going to be left with root 3 over root 15. Now that could simplify down a little bit further. And we know that because root 3 can divide into root 15. If you rewrite root 15 as two numbers that multiply to 15, in this case, it doesn't matter if they're both, if one's a square, because we're looking for 1 to be root 3. So 15 would be 5 times 3. So we can rewrite that as root 3 times root 5. And then cancel the 2 root 3s. So the root 5 on the bottom of this fraction means that we're left with 1 over root 5.